Today's lesson is called A Tidy Room of One's Own. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
I'm Roger, and today we're kind of talking about tidying up. Maybe getting rid of junk and things like that and organizing your room, especially your bedroom, to better your life, to make your life better, to improve your quality of living. And you want to tidy up your room, and you want a tidy room of your own.
You want a tidy room of your own, or a tidy room of one's own. And this reminds me of the title of a piece of literature, I believe, written by Virginia Woolf, A Room of One's Own. So there's kind of a joke baked into the title here. You can have a room of one's own, your own room, that's only yours and nobody else's. But you can also tidy that room up, clean it up a little bit, and then you'll have a tidy room of one's own. Ha ha ha, how funny. Anyways, yes, you can tidy something up. And in that particular situation, you're using the word tidy as a verb, okay? You can also have a tidy room. There, the word tidy is functioning as an adjective. You're saying that your room has been cleaned up. Further, when we're talking about the word tidy and cleaning up, we're kind of talking about organizing things, okay? When you tidy up, you do clean up, but you're not cleaning up as though something is dirty or soiled or something like that. It's more that you're putting things in order, you're organizing things. So yes, if your room is a cluttered mess, you might want to tidy your room up so as to have a tidy room, or a tidy room, I should say, of your own. All right, folks, with that, it is time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
A tidy room of one's own. We spend more time in our bedrooms than in any other place in our houses. Granted, the bulk of that time is spent asleep, but it's still important to make the space feel as comfortable as possible. Here are some tips for keeping your room tidy and organized so that it doesn't look like a bomb hit it.
大家好，第一部分我们看到的单字是 bulk。这个字是名词，课文中指大部分，常写作 the bulk of something。例如 During the summer vacation, the bulk of our weekends are spent at the cabin. 暑假期间，我们大部分的时间都在小屋中度过。另外 the bulk of something 也可以代表大批或是大量。我们可以说 I got up early this morning and got the bulk of the housework done by 11 a.m. 我今天早上很早就起床，并且在11点前就完成了大量的家事。
Okay, everybody, let's talk about the contents of the first part of our lesson today. And you know, when I was preparing for today's lesson, I kind of thought, I wonder if the writer got all these suggestions from the famous writer Marie Kondo. She's like all the rage these days. That Japanese woman that's teaching people how to tidy up their houses and have better quality of living because of that. But no matter where our writer got that information, this is good advice for us because I think a lot of us are guilty of keeping too much junk and having our lives disorganized. We could really use some advice here, especially on how to tidy up our bedrooms. So here in the first paragraph it says, we spend more time in our bedrooms than in any other place in our houses. That sounds true. The place where we sleep is the place where we spend most of our time, especially if we not only have our bed in there, but we also have our computer and our desk and things like that, maybe our TV. Yes, indeed, we do spend most of our time in our bedrooms.
Now that I think of it, most people live about 72 years, and most people also spend about 8 hours every day sleeping. So 1/3 out of every day we spend sleeping in our bedrooms. Now, 1/3 of 72. Let's go ahead and do the math here. That means that we spend 24 years on average in our beds, in our bedrooms. So there you go. This totally makes sense. It's true. We spend more time in our bedrooms than in any other place in our houses. Even if we only factor in the time we spend in our bedrooms while sleeping, we spend a huge amount of our lives in our bedrooms. So maybe we should do whatever it takes to make sure our bedrooms are fantastically tidy. After all, this will improve the quality of our lives.
Sounds reasonable to me. Now, in the next sentence here, it starts with the word granted. Okay, granted, the bulk of that time is spent asleep, but it's still important to make the space feel as comfortable as possible. So this sentence here begins with the word granted. That means although it is true, okay? Yes, it is true that most of the time we spend in our bedroom is sleeping. Still, it's important to make the space feel as comfortable as possible. So granted, it is true, but then still something else is true despite the first thing being true. I could say, granted, I'm not an expert in the Spanish language, but I think you should go to Mexico to perfect your Spanish.
So yeah, some of you might be thinking, sure, if the average lifespan is 72 years and we spend a third of every day sleeping, that means we're going to spend 24 years in our bedrooms. Yeah, that's true, but we're not really in our bedrooms. We're asleep and unconscious during that time. So give me a break. We really shouldn't have a tidy room, or we don't need to have a tidy room if we're not conscious to actually experience it. Well, granted, you're right. It's true. The bulk of that time, most of the time that we spend in our bedrooms is time spent asleep. But hey, it's still important to make the space feel as comfortable as possible. Even if you're asleep, you're going to want your bed to be nice and comfortable, right? You don't want to be so cluttered and disorganized that things fall into your bed and ruin your sleep. Like the other day, my daughter left a bunch of her toys in my bed, and I woke up with a My Little Pony doll under my back. It didn't make me feel good at all. So yes, even though you're sleeping, make sure that bedroom is tidy. It will improve the quality of your life.
And here it says, here are some tips for keeping your room tidy and organized so that it doesn't look like a bomb hit it. I remember hearing my mother say this when I was a kid. She would come into my room and say, gee, when did the bomb hit here? That's basically a way of saying that a place is really, really messy, as if a bomb exploded in that room. And it's going to take quite some time to clean it all up again. So you don't want your room to look like a disaster area, or you don't want it to look like a bomb hit it. So we've got some bits of advice to give you as our lesson continues.
To begin with, get into the habit of making your bed every morning. If you only do one thing, this should be it, because tucking in the sheets, smoothing the blankets, and straightening the pillows will transform the appearance of your bedroom. Since it takes less than a minute, it's your silver bullet to make your room look instantly neater.
第二部分我们看到动词 tuck 有把床单、衣服等塞进去之意。举例来说 Bob tucked his wallet into his front pocket where it would be harder to steal. Bob 把他的皮夹塞进前面的口袋，这样比较不容易被偷。
All right, folks, let's get started. Here are some tips for keeping your room tidy and organized so that it doesn't look like a pigsty. Like earlier, Roger said his mom used to walk into his bedroom and say, "Oh, this place is a mess. It looks like a bomb hit it." Well, when I was a kid, I was also messy and disorganized, but my mom used to use the word pigsty. She would walk in and say, "This place is a pigsty. You need to clean up immediately." By the way, a pigsty, that's a place where a pig lives, and pigs are notoriously filthy animals, so if someone says your room is a pigsty, it means your room is a total and complete and utter mess. Anyways, here are the tips to begin with. Get into the habit of making your bed every morning. I hear in the military that this is a very important part of their discipline every single day. They say that if you start every day by making your bed, you've already accomplished something. You've already committed yourself to being disciplined for that day. So yeah, making your bed every morning, not only will it help you to tidy up, it will also help you to discipline yourself. You'll start your day off on the right foot, so to speak.
Well, I never make my bed here in Taiwan because sleeping habits are different, but if we're using the perspective of Westerners, we have to consider that we use sheets and blankets, and in the morning we're supposed to make our bed. You're supposed to spread the sheet back over the bed and make it all neat and tidy. I've read somewhere that actually this is bad advice. You should kind of crumple things up on the bed to let them air out. But that's a topic for another day. Our advice here is to make your bed in the morning. And if you only do one thing, this should be it. Because tucking in the sheets, smoothing the blankets, and straightening the pillows will transform the appearance of your bedroom. So yes, we're saying that this is probably the most important thing you should do in the morning. Tuck in those sheets. We've got the verb to tuck here, most often used with the preposition in, to tuck in. I had a friend back in high school. Actually, I think it was a junior high. He would tuck in his shirts every day, whereas the rest of us, we would wear our shirts on the outside of our pants, outside of our shorts and trousers. But this fella tucked it in. He tucked his shirt in all the time. That just means that you take the piece of cloth and you put it inside something else. If you tuck in your sheets on the bed, you're taking the sheet or that white piece of cloth and you're pushing it between the mattress and the box spring below.
There you go. To tuck here is to fold or to wrap or to place bed coverings and clothes and stuff like that. You do this. You fold, you wrap, you place them to hold them in place. So Roger's friend, he was tucking his shirt in. When he did so, he put his shirt into his pants so that his shirt stayed in place. It wasn't flapping wildly all over the place. He looked like a neat young man in this way. But yes, usually when you tuck and fold something, so on and so forth, you're doing this to hold these things in place, to make things look tidier, etc. Now, earlier, Roger talked about tucking someone in. Well, he didn't say to tuck someone in, but he said the word tuck is very often used with the preposition in. But yes, if you do tuck someone in, you're placing that person snugly in bed. You're putting them in bed and you're wrapping them snugly in their sheets and blankets so that they're nice and comfortable. That's what it means to tuck someone in. Now, you can also tuck in a part of your body, let's say. Yes, if you tuck in a part of your body, you pull a part of your body in so as to make yourself and this body part smaller in the process. Anyways, let's take a look at an example sentence for the verb tuck. You can say, when making your bed, you should tuck the sheets under 3 sides of the mattress.
Right, on the sides and at the foot, and leave the part up by the pillow open. Okay, so here we're tucking in the sheets. You need to smooth the blankets out so there are no wrinkles. The blanket, of course, is the part that covers your body, and the pillow is where you rest your head. And by doing that, it will change or transform the appearance of your bedroom. It will look neat and tidy. Now, since it takes less than a minute, or because it takes less than a minute, it's your silver bullet to make your room look instantly neater. So here we've got silver bullet. My goodness, is that the bullet fired from the gun of the Lone Ranger?
I don't think so. I think we're using this as a part of a phrase. If something is your silver bullet, it's something that is sure to solve a problem or do something for you almost instantly. And yes, here, making your bed, it's a silver bullet in that it will make your room look instantly neater. If you only do this, you will have made your bedroom look that much neater. Anyway, with that, folks, it is time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. When we come back, we'll be wrapping up the first part of our lesson right after this.
Do you drape your clothes over a chair or toss them on the floor after you've worn them? Train yourself to throw dirty clothes into the laundry basket. Then find a home for all the other loose stuff by putting jewelry in boxes or china bowls and attaching hooks to the back of your door for belts and scarves. Another trick is to cover cardboard toilet paper tubes in pretty paper and use them to bundle electrical cords together so they don't snake all over the floor.
第三部分我们看到一个单字 drape， 这个字为动词，指把点点点披挂在点点点上，常写作 drape something over somebody or something， 或是 drape something around somebody or something。像是 When I got home, I took off my coat and draped it over the chair in the kitchen. 当我到家时，我把外套脱掉之后，披挂在厨房的椅子上。又或者说 Addison draped the scarf loosely around his wife's shoulders. Addison 往他太太的肩膀上松松地披上披巾。再来我们看到名词 hook， 指钩子、挂钩。例如Gary's kids were playing, and one of them accidentally bumped his head against the hook on the wall. Gary 的小孩们在玩的时候，其中一个的头不小心撞到墙上的挂钩。而 hook 除了可以当名词用，还能做动词，指使感兴趣或是吸引。我们可以说 From the first time Simon picked up a guitar at age 7, he was hooked. Simon 自从7岁时首次拿起吉他就迷上了。另外，补充与 hook 相关的片语可以用 let somebody off the hook 来表示放过某人而不加以责难或免除了某种危险。所以可以说 The forest fire was threatening our town, but we're off the hook now that it has started to rain heavily. 森林火灾本来危及了本镇，不过因为已经下起大雨，我们可说是解除警报了。最后我们看到单字 cardboard， 这个字为形容词，用来指硬纸板做的。举例来说 We packed up our clothes in cardboard boxes in preparation for the move. 我们打包我们的衣服装进纸箱中，以准备搬迁。
Okay, let's continue with our lesson. Now, we've talked about what to do with your bed in the morning. You want to make your room look nice and tidy, so we're suggesting that you make your bed in the morning. That takes care of one thing here. But another problem we have, especially us guys, we kind of throw our clothes all over the place. We're supposed to put them in the laundry hamper or something like that, but we don't want to bother with that. We've got a question here. Do you drape your clothes over a chair or toss them on the floor after you've worn them? Yes, I'm guilty. I do this all the time. I drape my clothes over a chair, or I drape them over the door of my wardrobe, or even sometimes I just kind of toss them on the floor because I don't want to worry about them. But hey, my wife does this stuff too. She's throwing her dirty socks on the floor all the time, so I'm not the only guilty one in our house. But here we've got the word drape as a verb that just means to hang something loosely over something.
Yeah, to drape something is to cover something with clothes or cloth or something in such a way that the clothes or cloths, or excuse me, the clothes or the cloth, I should say, it kind of hangs down loosely. The clothes hang down loosely, or the cloth hangs down loosely. That's what it means to drape something with something. And by the way, I am also guilty of this, but it's not due to laziness. I never throw my stuff on the ground, but if I wear some clothes and they're not yet dirty, why would I put them in the hamper? By the same token, why would I put them back in the clean clothes drawer? What I do is I drape them over a chair, and the next time I need to wear them, they are handy. I can grab them and put them on and wear them until they need to be cleaned. That is my philosophy, but my wife does not share this philosophy. Whenever she sees any of my clothes draped over a chair or anything like that, the first thing that she does is that she threatens to set them on fire, and then invariably she throws that article of clothing into the washing machine, even if it is not dirty. Yes, my wife has cleaned clean clothes many, many times. Anyways, the next sentence says, train yourself to throw dirty clothes into the laundry basket, okay? You don't need to throw clean clothes into that laundry basket, though. Then, next, find a home for all the other loose stuff by putting jewelry in boxes or china bowls and attaching hooks to the back of your door for belts and scarves cords and stuff like that. Now, here we have the word hook to talk about. Here, a hook is a curved piece of metal that you can hang things on. Now, the hooks we're talking about are kind of like fishing hooks, but these hooks, the ones that we're talking about, they're neither sharp nor barbed.
Right, you can buy those hooks in the night market and you can attach them to your door so you can hang belts or scarves on those hooks. And another trick is to cover cardboard toilet paper tubes in pretty paper and use them to bundle electrical cords together so they don't snake all over the floor. Interesting. Of course, we all use computers and other electronic devices in the home, and my goodness, we've got cords all over the place. And if you use toilet paper, of course, sometimes you're going to use the rolls of toilet paper, and inside, of course, you've got this paper tube, or rather it's a cardboard tube, which of course is a kind of hard paper, cardboard, thick paper, of course, and you can use that to bundle those electrical cords together. Okay, so again, cardboard is like thick paper, and yes, indeed, those tubes can bundle electrical cords. To bundle here just means to wrap around something. A cord is like a wire that comes out of an electric device, like the cord to your toaster, for example, or the cord to your refrigerator. And you don't want those cords to be on the floor like snakes. And here we're using the word snake as a verb, to snake all over the floor. That just means the floor is covered with cords. Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第二部分建议我们要养成每天早上整理床铺的习惯。那读到这个段落的最后一句，他说 Since it takes less than a minute, it's your silver bullet to make your room look instantly neater. 因为只花不到1分钟的时间，这是让房间立刻看起来变整齐的简单方法。好，句子里面的这个 silver bullet银质的子弹，在西方的宗教信仰和传说里面啊，这种银质子弹、银弹是可以用来对抗狼人啊，或是其他怪物的武器，是一种利器。那它引申的意思就是指针对复杂或是严重的问题，有这种简单一劳永逸的解决方法。好，那我们顺便来学几个跟子弹 bullet 有关的片语。第一种叫 magic bullet。好，字面上的意思是具有魔力的子弹，那它可以用来指万灵丹啊，或是快速有效、轻松解决问题的方法。例如 There's no magic bullet to fix the problem. 要处理这个问题，并没有快速有效的解决方法。第二个是 sweat bullets。好， sweat 当动词，它有流汗、出汗的意思。流汗跟子弹有什么关系呢？同学们应该有看过卡通漫画里面的主角很焦虑或是心惊胆跳的时候，他的汗水一直流，一直喷出来，他们画那个汗水都很大颗嘛。好，那么 sweat bullets 就像是挥汗如子弹一样，用来表达大量的出汗，那就是用来形容某个人极度焦虑、非常紧张或是非常担心。例如 Frank was sweating bullets while he sat on the bench outside the operating room.Frank 坐在手术室外面的椅子上的时候呢，他非常的焦虑。好，第三个片语叫做 dodge a bullet。Dodge 这个动词它表示躲开啊、避开，那么 dodge a bullet 字面上的意思是躲掉一颗子弹，那就是用来比喻成功躲过一场灾难，逃过一劫。举例来说 The island dodged a bullet when the typhoon turned north. 当台风向北转的时候呢，那个岛屿它就逃过一劫，成功躲过一场灾难了。好，那么第四个片语叫做 bite the bullet。 字面上的意思是咬住子弹，这不是科幻片或是动作片的场景，可以用嘴巴把这个子弹接住哦。这个说法其实是跟过去战争的时候伤兵的治疗方式有关。据说当时因为欠缺麻药，那么伤兵在接受治疗的时候就会咬着子弹来忍痛，所以 bite the bullet 就延伸出咬紧牙关忍受痛苦的意思，可以用来表达硬着头皮去做令人不愉快的事。例如 We'll just have to bite the bullet， 意思就是我们只能硬着头皮去做了。好，以上是这些重点整理，我们回顾今天的单字吧。
Bulk. The bulk of young people living in the city have roommates because rent is really high. Tuck. Stephen debated whether he should tuck his shirt in. Drape. During the long bus ride, Tessa draped a blanket over herself and tried to sleep. Hook. Please hang your coats on the hooks by the door. Cardboard. If you don't have a cardboard box for shipping your items, you can buy one at the post office. Cord. My computer cord was ruined after mice chewed on it.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.